Softube finally made a clone of the famous Fairchild 670 compressor, and I've been playing with it a little bit and I actually really like it, but my god, this thing looks awful. Damn! This is honestly one of the worst plugins when it comes to user interface that I've probably ever seen. Like, and it's not just the scratches and then the missing screws and the analog looking interface. That's just not it. Like, the amount of contrast for the knobs, the little letters here. Like, it is that it actually does some very cool stuff to the sound that I tolerate it. But if it wasn't just for the sound, I would just be advising you all to just use the Very setting in Pro C3 with some tube saturation on it. But honestly, that sounds completely different, so that makes no sense at all. And actually, it also sounds quite different to other Fairchild plugins. And if you want to see a comparison of that, leave a comment down below. Actually, only this part of the plugin is a Fairchild 670, and all the other stuff is stuff being pasted upon the 670 in this plugin. And I honestly really appreciate that. Like, if we are simulating an analog unit, let's make it better than the analog unit in the first place. Like, more control or whatever. Like, make it better. I wish they would also have made the user interface better then. But let me quickly run you through how a Fairchild works. We basically have an input gain. We have a compression amount. This is actually on the original, it's called the AC threshold, I think. And it's basically your threshold, just as you know from a normal compressor. We've got timing. Normally you have an attack and release on a separate knob. On the Fairchild, it was just one knob. And it was called the time constant. Fun fact, on the original Fairchild, there were already settings for program-dependent release curves. So the release curve wasn't a constant, it was program-dependent. We got some output gain, and we got the knee setting over here, which on the original one are little screws, and it's called the DC threshold. And this changes the knee and usually the sound of the complete compressor. Now, they pasted some extra stuff on here with a calibration knob where we can, make the calibration sound clean or completely worn out. We have some utility settings here where we can mix it. We can do sidechain filtering and all that kind of stuff. We got a saturator built in here. So, of course, it's a tube compressor. It's gonna saturate, but we can do that more or less. Really cool. And we've got a spatializer in here, which is... You're gonna hear it. So, let's run some audio through it. I'm not being sponsored by Softube, because if I would have been sponsored, I wasn't allowed to say that this thing looks like absolute crap. If you appreciate the fact that I'm not sponsored, make sure to support me. Links are in the description down below. Here's Sandstorm by Darude. Let's turn off the compressor first. And now listen how it glues everything together. And I'm overdoing it as usual. Let's slow it down a little bit. And you know what? Let's do it on the rhythm section. I mean, need I say more? Yeah, we got some little bit of gain that we're losing. It doesn't really have auto gain. I haven't found it yet. If it has, it will probably in the comments down below now. They should have given it auto gain. But listen how... And the funny thing is this... They're not trying to make it transparent or something. Like, it has a certain push on every kick. And actually this does remind me of the Grandchild 670. Still need to make a review about this. I had some issues with the tubes in here. But this also gives a little bit of that push. I call it the Very push. This one was doing it way too much. Like, it was almost blowing up my speakers. But I really like that little character. I hope this comes across on YouTube. Now, let's do it a little bit less, and let's play a little bit with the saturator so we can overload our transformer. which is just internal calibration. You can do that on the original as well, I think, but you have to completely recalibrate your Fairchild compressor. And honestly, knowing how delicate a Fairchild is, nobody wants to go in there with a screwdriver to mess things up, to make it sound different. I know that Fairchild owners are very protective of their Fairchild. And honestly, that's fine, because these things are fucking expensive. So, gonna overload it a little bit. Change the tone. I think this is the tone of the overloading. Yeah. I mean, what a color box this is. I mean, we go from boring to interesting in how many minutes did that take me? Let's also use the spatializer. Listen to this, listen to this. And it's probably just a very simple thing that they're doing behind the scenes. Like, probably just a mid-side high boost something. But it's... such a... They did such a good job on the sound processing. And it's actually what I'm expecting from Softube. Like, I know that their DSP engineering is pretty good. But... my God. I wish they made a better user interface, because... I mean, this user interface looks like the user interface from like the first iPhone or something. That's like almost 20 years ago. They're not really showing that we are evolving. Coming from a company that makes that makes like super cool, super modern controllers and everything. Like, I just don't get it. Anyway, I'm going to link to the 670 bus processor remote cutoff stereo compressor and saturator, which is also a story on its own. I mean, how many people understand or care that it's a remote cutoff stereo compressor? It's just a 670. Anyway, I'm going to link to it in the description down below. Check it out. I don't know what's gonna cost yet. They only sent me the plugin so that I can have this video ready when the plugin is released, but that's it. I know nothing, but it's a cool sounding thing. And that's all that I have to share today. And if you like this video, you might also really appreciate this video over here. Thanks a lot for watching this video. As always, keep pushing and bye bye.